Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 193 on my countdown to retirement. So, got up this morning and I watched the morning briefing dealing with the U.S. Strikes on Iran and the fact that the UN nuclear watchdog said that it had not detected any increase in off-site radiation levels at the nuclear sites the U.S. attacked. And again, I watched the direct briefing with Chairman of the Joint Chiefs as well as the Secretary of Defense. I didn't want to watch it where from the regular news outlets where somebody's opinion was going to get shared. I just wanted to hear the updates directly from the military. Then I watched a couple of YouTube videos, and one was on Iran, the debt ceiling, and your money. The Blip Yield to Watch by Diamond Nest Egg. And I will put the links to the videos that I watched down in the description box below. And then the other one was Retirement Isn't What You Expect, 10 Shocking Truths Revealed. And that was by Joe Kuhn. So again, that'll be in the description box down below. Then I read an article that was suggested by Rob Berger, and it was the first year of retirement rule by Kiplinger. And again, I'll leave the link in the description box below, but a couple of the points that I thought were interesting were, the go-go years when retirees are most likely to spend money on things like travel, vacation, and bucket list items. Travel, recreation, and bucket list items. And according to the 2024 Consumer Expenditure Survey, the average annual spending for adults aged 65 to 74 is $65,149, and by age 75, that figure drops by nearly 20% to $53,031, presumably when you go to the no-go years or the slow-go years. And then, according to a September 2024 survey by Resume Builder of 750 people, age 65 to 85, 1 in 8 older adults plans to return to work in 2025. And while rising costs of living top the reasons, boredom ranked a close second. So I was surprised by that. Then I received an email from Jeff Schmidt at Holy Schmidt entitled The 7 Most Important Things to Own in Retirement. And click through to the video. Again, leave the link down below, but the video was from basically 3 years ago, and presumably Jeff believes that the information is just as relevant today as it was 3 years ago. And the 7 things were a reliable car, a safe, comfortable home, an emergency fund, quality health insurance, a great set of luggage, health club access or exercise equipment, and a local college course catalog. So they were what I started my day with, and then also looked at just the overall calendar of events that's coming up that would potentially have an impact on the stock market. And this coming week, Jerome Powell is scheduled to give his semi-annual monetary policy report to both the House and the Senate, respectively, and that's going to be on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. And then also the results of the Fed's annual bank stress tests will be released this week. Then I logged on to TreasuryDirect.gov and I looked at the upcoming Treasury auction schedule. As I indicated the other day, I need to roll over some treasuries, and I'm trying to decide what I want to do. So the 13 and 26 week auctions are scheduled for tomorrow, Monday the 23rd. The 13-week matures on September 25th, and the 26-week matures on December 26th. And then the 17-week is scheduled for Tuesday the 24th at auction with an issue date of 7/1 and a maturity date of October 31st. The 8-week isn't scheduled until June 26th with an issue date also of 7/1, but the last investment rate on the 8-week was a chart-topping 4.564%. That's the highest across the yield curve. The last 13-week had an investment rate of 4.345. The 26-week had a 4.303, and the 17-week had an investment rate of 4.355. So anyway, I'm going to need to decide what I'm going to do and put it in for either tomorrow or Tuesday, or potentially if I want to wait for the 8-week a little bit later. But more than likely, I'll either go with the 17-week or the 26-week. Then I watched CBS This Morning with Jane Pauley. Then later after that, I went out to lunch with my wife to our favorite Chinese place, and I had Hunan beef. Then we ran over to Sally's Beauty Supply to pick up some highlighter. My wife got her hair cut short, so I need to now recolor it and then rehighlight it to get it back to the necessary blended tones. So I'll take care of that this week. And then I talked to my mom before she headed over to my sister's for their weekly Sunday dinners with the broader family. So it's both my side of the family and my brother-in-law's side of the family, pretty much every Sunday with the nieces and nephews and such, and the grandkids at my sister's. And so our family is probably 66-33 divided across political parties, one being slightly weighted more than the other. But it becomes a lively debate every single week. And I'm sure, given the military strike that happened in Iran in support of Israel and us, that it'll be a lively debate this evening. And I'll follow up later tonight with my mom to see how that debate went. And then I checked in on a pair of friends of mine, see how they were doing just to catch up. One's wife has been out of the country in Singapore for the last 5 or 6 weeks. She'll be back on Tuesday. And then the other just picked up his sister, who came in from West Virginia, to spend some time with him. And again, I just haven't talked to him in about 2 to 3 weeks, so I wanted to catch up. Everything was good. Then I decided to turn on the what do you call it? The Travelers Insurance Championship golf tournament, and I was watching from about, I want to say it was the 13th hole till the end. And basically I watched Keenan Bradley come from behind to win the Travelers Championship at the TPC River Highlands. Tommy Fleetwood was leading when I turned on the tournament, and at the 18th tee, he was leading. He was 15 under, but he ended up missing between a 5 and 6 foot putt, which ended up giving him a bogey. So he went from 15 under to 14 under. So then we had 3 people tied because Russell Henley chipped in a birdie on 18 from the deep rough to move to 14 under. And then Keenan Bradley birdied the same roughly 5 to 6 foot putt. I mean, they were inches apart, but he got to watch Tommy Fleetwood do the putt, saw his line, and then adjusted for his putt, which he then birdied to move him to 15 under and let him win the tournament. So it was a super exciting finish to that particular tournament. And then Keenan Bradley got to take home $3.6 million of the $20 million purse. So good for him. Plus, he added a bunch of points to the FedEx Cup that moved him into the top 10. Then I attempted to make fried chicken thighs, and I showed you that I had prepped the thighs yesterday, whatever, and I'll just say it didn't come out well. So the outside was crunchy and the inside was juicy, but the breading in the skin was way too done for my wife and my liking. And now I watched a bunch of YouTube shorts and stuff, and one particular one from the Gator Man on how to be able to reuse the oil, since it's super freaking expensive, by using a cornstarch slurry in water, mixing it up, cooking it till it turns to like a gel, and then basically waiting for it to cool down, and then removing the gel from the oil with all the particulates in it, and then theoretically the oil will be clean and can be reused. It's cooling in the other room, and I'll let you guys know tomorrow whether it was successful or not. But I have my doubts because, again, I did this inside of a deep fryer. When I watched him, he did it in a wok, so it was a little easier to control the cooking and the picking up, with, if you will, with the slurry of the components. But we'll see. Anyway, that's my update for today. So if you have any questions or any comments, please leave them in the comment section down below, or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great evening, and until tomorrow, take care.